Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon. What am I saying? Good afternoon. Hit subscribe right now. This is Pound for Pound, the best live stream, one of the best at least on YouTube. And to my super chat, thank you so very much. You give me every incentive to continue these live streams. Trump will not get impeached. Hillary Clinton will get indicted for the numerous crimes that she's committed. They're going after the Trump Foundation now, when the Clinton Foundation has an ongoing probe, FBI criminal probe, and two giant planes touched down, a 757 from the DOJ touched down twice in Little Rock, but it was about a drug bust because drug empires take copious notes. They're going after the Trump Foundation because the Mueller probe went from, Trump, Russia. They didn't have any. Well, thank you, Johnny M. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your kind words and everything. They didn't have any evidence of Trump, Russia. That's all we heard about. Trump, Russia, Trump, Russia. Oh, my God. Trump colluded with Russia to cheat poor Hillary after she cheated Bernie, and then Bernie was okay with it. Makes you wonder why he was so okay with it. $200 million stolen from his supporters in a fraud, one of the greatest frauds, one of the greatest thefts in U.S. history, $200 million from people who gave to Bernie Sanders because they thought that it was a fair primary. Veteran anarchy, the truth always wins the race in the end. Absolutely. Veteran anarchy, thank you so very much for always being, so awesome. Thank you, Veteran Anarchy. The truth will definitely win out. We have 300 people, 2 minutes in. It's going to be a good live stream. But so you had $200 million stolen in a primary the Democrats said was fair and neutral. It was not fair and neutral, and Debbie Wasserman Schultz was then forced to resign in disgrace. Then you had the same people who were talking to you about Medicare for all, the same people who will say, vote for Hillary 2020 or Kamala Harris 2020 or Joe Biden 2020. They're not going to let anyone, any powerful voice from Tulsi Gabbard, certainly not Bernie Sanders. They're not going to allow anyone but an establishment pick in the Democratic Party to win. And the same voices you hear saying, Medicare for all, they won't be talking as much when the midterms roll around and Republicans keep control of the House and Senate. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, if there are still some Jill Stein or Bernie Sanders supporters who still watch me, they are coming after you. They're going to do you the way they did the Green Party. But nobody believes me anyway about anything on the left, and I've always proven right. Hillary lost. Trump, Russia was nonsense. Tony Podesta, he's now under criminal investigation. I wrote about that. I said he would be. He is. I said Clinton was unelectable in 2015. She was. I said Trump, Russia, there's nothing there, while people were reporting on it maniacally. Like zombies, like crazed, frenzied propaganda, McCarthy-era propagandists, and there was nothing. Now they've spun to Michael Cohen, who the FEC, the chairman of the FEC, wrote very clearly that the Cohen payments were not campaign finance violations, so that didn't work. Trump, Russia didn't work. The FISA applications and the Steele dossier and the drunken conversation with Papadopoulos, that didn't work. Every single thing, Stormy, that didn't work. Oh my God, now it's the National Enquirer. That's not going to work. because nothing was done illegal. You can go ahead and if you own the rights to a story, you can sit on it. Just record companies do that with artists all the time, actually. They'll buy up an artist and sit on his or her work so it doesn't interfere with, a big star that they also have contracted out. FEC chairman, Trump hush money, unseemly but not illegal. Former FEC chair. Bradley Smith, regardless of the what Cohen agreed to in a plea deal, hush money payments to mistresses. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't say that. To paramours, what says mistresses, of course, here, are not really campaign expenditures. It is true that contribution and expenditure are defined by the federal election campaign as anything for the purpose of influencing an election. And it may have been intended. Okay, the problem is that almost anything a candidate does can be interpreted as intended to influence an election. That's why part of the statute defines personal use as any expenditure used to fill any commitment, obligation, or expense of a person that would exist irrespective of the candidate's election campaign, meaning that he would have protected his family from knowledge of his affairs regardless of the campaign because he was doing it before the campaign. Scott Bigler. The drug dealers in Arkansas were quite fond of the Trump tax cuts until the DOJ came for their receipts. I know. Could you imagine? All the notes and the Quicken and the, it's like the guy from Goodfellas, or was it Goodfellas or Casino? I think it was Goodfellas. The guy at the butcher shop where he was like, taking all the notes and, taking all these notes, and then the FBI was listening in. Criminal empires don't take copious notes. They don't use file cabinets. And so that's the thing. I mean, you're 100% right. Scott Bigler, Bob TV. Everyone subscribe to Bob TV. He is awesome. Bob TV is awesome. And I want to thank you, Bob TV, for your support for a long time. It's just been absolutely wonderful. So everyone go ahead. A friend, this gentleman is a friend of mine from a long time ago, and Bob TV is great. I just sent his link. Thank you for watching this channel. He is awesome. But definitely go ahead and subscribe to Bob TV. He's awesome. Great, powerful voice. But like, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, question here was, do you think she'll run for president? I think after, I just hope she would debate Ben Shapiro. But I think after Democrats lose the House and Senate again, they're going to turn on Bernie voters, because they're going to do the Green Party the way the Bernie supporters, the way they did the Green Party, and suddenly you're not going to hear Medicare for all anymore. But that's something that I see on the horizon. But of course, I've been pretty much right on everything. And nobody seemed to care on the left, but that's okay. So FEC chairman, this is, the National Review has a great article. So, regardless of what Cohen agreed to in a plea deal, hush money payments to mistresses are not really campaign expenditures. That's it. That's it. They're not really campaign expenditures. It's pretty clear cut. And I'm sorry, but this is not like this is not doesn't rise to the level of Charles Manson or even Hillary Clinton. You can't go ahead. The guy had relations with two beautiful women, and it's like, oh, he's the spawn of Satan. No, it doesn't work that way. If his family loves him, if his wife forgave him, if his kids love him, that's what counts. So, sorry, you're not going to impeach him based on that. Democrats want a taxpayer-funded wing of the Democratic Party called the Mueller probe. It is a taxpayer-funded wing of the Mueller probe of the Democratic Party. And they want to make everything morally relative, meaning that they want Trump to have the same image as Hillary Clinton. So it's kind of like, whether it's rock or rap or, country music, you have the originator and you have a musical artist who's the originator. And then you have all the, kind of people who are just copying. So the phrase lock her up, that was specifically for Clinton. Okay, lock him up makes no sense. Lock him up makes no sense. But they're like, oh, well, if you have lock her up, then we're going to have lock him up. Okay. Okay, well, how are you going to do it? Well, we're going to go and we're going to find Trump-Russia collusion. There's no evidence. Well, then we're going to go ahead and Stormy. Okay, that didn't work. We're going to go ahead and Cohen payments to the National Enquirer. That's not working either. We have the FEC chairman right here. Regardless of what Cohen agreed to in a plea deal, hush money payments to mistresses are not really campaign expenditures. Pretty clear cut. Well, we're going to go after the Trump Foundation. Well, tell me a quid pro quo transaction. Trump's power is not derived from the Trump Foundation. And the only reason you're going after the Trump Foundation is because you couldn't find any information about Trump-Russia. You couldn't find any information linked to Trump regarding Michael Cohen. Oh, well, there's all these people who have pled guilty. Yeah, they pled guilty to lying to the FBI. George Papadopoulos and Michael Flynn, especially Michael Flynn, should never have pled guilty. And both are now reconsidering why they ever were forced to plead guilty, because the FBI was in on framing them. We have Peter Strzok and Andrew McCabe and James Comey all fired. And these are the FBI agents they pled that they allegedly lied to. And Flynn never lied at all. And Papadopoulos now wants to withdraw, and his amazing, I have a beautiful, amazing wife, but he has a beautiful, amazing wife. She's awesome. And she's defending him on Twitter, on Fox, on the airwaves. And she doesn't think that he should be, he doesn't think that he should be, she doesn't think that he should be, he thinks that, that George Papadopoulos should not plead guilty and fight it, which he should. She's right. You cannot go ahead and say Trump has a corrupt world around him when all of these people are pleading guilty to crimes that have nothing to do with Trump. They have nothing to do with Trump. Meanwhile, you have Brian Pagliano, whose 4 years of emails are missing at the State Department. Why? Because he transferred top secret and special access program intelligence from Cybernet, JWIC, SCIFs, and other secure locations within the United States government onto her server located in the basement. And then she outsourced Platte River and Dado. So there you have a situation where actual crimes were committed. Or you want Clinton Foundation crimes? How about UBS? How about Boeing? UBS scandal, gave money. She helped him out with Clinton helped them out with the IRS. That was in the Atlantic and the Wall Street Journal. Boeing, that's documented. They gave money. Then you have pay for play weapons deals. Then you have Uranium One. Nothing's debunked about that. Cash flowed to the Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. You have the most overt, egregious crimes that Clinton has committed. And meanwhile, it's, oh, let's impeach Trump because he tweets. He's mean at tweeting. He's a mean tweeter. We can't have a mean tweeter in the White House. We have to have somebody who destroys Libya or who has a private server with top secret intelligence outside the United States government. So it's like what they've tried to do and what they've always tried to do is make everything relative. They've made everything relative. And they tried to go ahead and say, oh, well, Clinton is corrupt, but look at Trump. Look at all the people around him. Yeah, but that has nothing to do. They want to make everything relative. Nothing to do with Trump. Manafort has nothing to do with Trump, and even Alan Dershowitz said the only reason they went after Manafort is to get to Trump. Even the lawyer said that. Even the lawyer, even the judge said that. So Manafort, nothing to do with Trump. Gates, nothing to do with Trump. Flynn is an honorable man. He should be free, or he should not have. He should not have had to deal with any of this. He actually went up against the deep state. He is an intelligence chief that went up against the system, and they went after him for what? Like, that's one of the crimes of Tony Podesta, not registering as a foreign agent. So let's look. Manafort, nothing to do with Trump. Gates, nothing to do with Trump. Flynn, nothing to do with Trump, and Trump should never have let him go. Papadopoulos, nothing to do with Trump. Michael Cohen, yeah, but it's not a campaign expenditure. So, too bad for you. Oh my God! Well, now it's the National Enquirer. Yeah, they're still not going to get Trump on. That's not a campaign expenditure, and they're now the Trump Foundation. But you never had scandals at the Trump Foundation. You might have had lawsuits, but still nothing compared to the Clinton Foundation. $10 billion in Haiti. So They've lost 8 out of 10 Democrats. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 special elections they've lost. And then they're like, oh, well, you know what? It's going to be a blue wave. How? Oh, well, because more people are showing up at Republican, at where Republican incumbents used to be. More people are showing up. Yeah. So what? They're not winning. They've lost 8 out of 10. They should have lost 10 out of 10. 8 out of 10 with a Republican challenger. They would have lost 10 out of 10 were it not for the insane, ridiculous scandals. One guy in Pennsylvania, the incumbent Republican religious guy against abortion, told his mistress to go ahead and get an abortion. She called him out on Facebook. As she should have. The guy's ultimate hypocrite. So this is interesting. Democrats strip superdelegates of power and reform caucuses in historic move. It's not going to change anything. But anyway, Tom Perez and Bernie Sanders teamed up to push the biggest reform package the party has seen in decades. They'll never let Bernie become nominee ever. But let's go ahead. The Democratic National... There's still a rule that says you have to go ahead and be a Democrat. Don't quote me on it. Maybe they changed that rule, but so they're not going to, that alone wouldn't allow Bernie to become nominee. But they'll never run on doubling taxes. And that's the Mercatus study that says Medicare for all doubles taxes. But anyway, the Democratic National Committee voted Saturday to significantly curtail the power of superdelegates and to make presidential caucuses more accessible. Wow, that's so great of them. You mean they're not going to overtly cheat? Oh my God, they've seen their ways. No, Hillary doesn't control the Democrats anymore. This is a fantastic win. Not. The reform package pushed by DNC Chairman Tom Perez and allies of Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, among others, passed overwhelmingly by voice vote at the DNC summer meeting here 2 years ago. After the process started, what the heck am I reading? Perez and others hailed the outcome as momentous. What? August 25th is today, yesterday today. So the change will prohibit superdelegates from voting for president at the party's 2020 convention, unless the outcome is already assured or it deadlocks, which hasn't happened for decades. The vast majority of superdelegates sided with Hillary Clinton. Okay. But the media will descend upon Bernie or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Whatever. So the new rules will make caucuses more accessible by requiring state parties to accept absentee votes. All right. The DNC can't force states to change their rules, but the reform package includes measures to encourage states to open their primaries and caucuses to end. Oh, encourage states to open their primaries and caucuses to independent voters. So it doesn't really change that much. I mean, it could make it easier for Bernie to become nominee. That's true. If he becomes a Democrat, which I still would vote for Trump. I mean, you're talking about me. I'd still vote for Trump even if Bernie was the nominee, because I don't believe Bernie Sanders is the same person I wrote 100 articles about. But it is, I guess, a win, definitely a win for Bernie voters. But the Washington Post, the New York Times, CNN, and MSNBC will descend upon Bernie the same way they did, or descend upon any progressive. And the same people who will then complain will then tell you to vote for Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. So it's just more cosmetic than anything else. But anyway, so let's go ahead. They're going after the Trump Foundation now, which I find hilarious. It's like like somebody stole bubblegum, and then there's a serial killer on the loose. But let's go ahead and get the kid who stole bubblegum. Trump Foundation CEO is given immunity. He's not stupid. Trump Foundation, how New York's growing case could impact the president. New York's growing case into what? New York should focus on the Clinton Foundation. It's the most overt double standard. Absolutely. This is hilarious. Hilarious. Trump Foundation, how New York's growing case could impact the president. What? As President Donald Trump rails against the Mueller investigation, Trump should have fired him a long time ago, but in a way, it actually still works out. Cohen's involvement in part of the broadening. Okay. Barbara Underwood, no doubt hardcore Democrat, and New York Attorney General filed a civil suit in June accusing Trump and his foundation of illegal conduct for more than a decade. What? Meanwhile, the Clinton Foundation steals $10 billion from Haiti along with every other scandal and nothing. Now the state tax department is looking into any potential criminality. Oh my God. They're trying to get him. They're trying to get him so badly. Oh, they're scraping and they're just clawing. Oh my God. This is plan B. They probably have plan C, D, E, F. The Russia collusion didn't work. Cohen didn't work. Stormy didn't work. McDougal didn't work. National Enquirer didn't work. Now they're after the Clinton, the Trump Foundation. Meanwhile, it's just unbelievable. And meanwhile, you have Christian Saucier, who was ripped away from his family for a year. Taking a picture. Trump organization, Alan Weisselberg, given immunity by prosecutors to testify about what? Prosecutors say Weisselberg told another executive to designate a reimbursement to Cohen for the Stormy Daniel hush money. So what? It's still not a campaign expenditure. It is still not a campaign expenditure. Regardless of what Cohen agreed to in a plea deal, hush money payments to mistresses are not really campaign expenditures. This is Bradley Smith. Okay, former FEC chairman. What more do you want? What more do you need than the former FEC chairman? A former chairman of the Federal Election Committee is chairman of the Institute for Free Speech and a visiting fellow at James Madison program at Princeton. The guy said, regardless of what Cohen agreed to in a plea deal, hush money to payments to mistresses are not campaign expenditures. Well, of course they're not. What kind of imbecile would believe that? Oh, yeah, Democrats. Oh, yeah, Democrats. So, cruise control. Thank you. What they've done, and Trump now, he has stated he wants to he might have to become part of the process. Then they're going to say, oh my God, it's partisanship. Meanwhile, all they do is partisan. Like Everything they do is partisan. Every single thing they do is just try to hurt him in some way. Has nothing to do with national security or pontificating. They were pontificating forever about national security, forever. Then now they're pontificating about the security clearances. You have a good economy. You have peace, hopefully, between North and South Korea. At least it's on the ball is rolling. At least it started. You have Kim Jong-un and Moon Jae-in in an historic meeting where they're shaking hands, they're hugging. This is unbelievably, like, this unbelievable breakthrough. NorCal Daddy, happy National Dog Day. Every dog has his day. Rock on, HA. Keep reporting the real news. Profanity alert t-shirts. God bless your work. Thank you, NorCal Daddy. Thank you, NorCal Daddy. I didn't know it was National Dog Day. Very cool. Thank you, NorCal Daddy, for always watching. Thank you so very much. And it's like, so Trump, social media giants are silencing millions of people. Can't do this, even if it means we must continue to hear fake news like CNN. Who's oh, that's so great. He's like, you can't silence people, even if it's fake news CNN. Whose ratings have suffered gravely. People have to figure out what is real and what is not without censorship. Absolutely. So you have to use your brain. If Hillary says, oh, we went ahead and it was just about convenience. So Trump Organization CFO Alan Weisselberg given immunity. Okay, so the longtime chief financial officer of Trump Organization, Alan Weisselberg, has given immunity by federal prosecutors in New York during the course of the Michael Cohen investigation. So what they're trying to do is they're trying some way to take down Trump. Oh my God, they're trying some way. And it's always the same thing. Oh, he's a great independent investigator. No, he's not. He's part of the uranium deal. He was FBI director when the uranium deal went down, and yellowcake uranium was shipped out of the country. Weisselberg is executive one on page 17 of criminal information filed by prosecutors in the Michael Cohen case. Cohen mentioned Weisselberg's name several times in a recorded phone conversation with Trump about payment to kill a story. So who cares? It's still not a campaign expenditure. And former Federal Election Commission chairman stated that. So still not a campaign expenditure. Sorry about that. And I like Trump today. He's just like retweeting what he tweeted yesterday about Christopher Steele and the Clinton emails and everything. It's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. So I'm trying to read more about this. So they have nothing. Going after the Trump Foundation, they have nothing. Clinton Foundation has also been sued. And it's still. I like how they go ahead in the Washington Post. This is June 27th of this year, I believe. And he's like, Foundation face-off, the Trump Foundation versus the Clinton Foundation. Do a word search for Haiti. Not one word. No reference to Haiti. No reference to Haiti. Then you have David Fahrenthold, who just devoted his life in the Washington Post to, he won the Pulitzer Prize, but reporting on the Trump Foundation, which, I mean, This is hilarious. So nobody gets the Pulitzer for persistent reporting that created a model for transparent journalism and political campaign coverage while casting doubt on Donald Trump's assertions of generosity towards charities. Are you kidding me? This is what the Pulitzer Prize, this is the Washington Post gets the Pulitzer Prize. For what? For casting doubt on Trump's assertions of generosity towards charities. Meanwhile, $10 billion is stolen from Haiti, and everyone's like, Washington Post, like, well, we can't really. It's pretty bad, isn't it? I guess, but it's not Clinton and Hillary and Bill's fault. Hillary Clinton and Bill's fault. It's not their fault. This is amazing. Persistent reporting and creating a model for transparent journalism. A model? How? Where is the model that is now being used against the Clinton Foundation for the UBS scandal, the Boeing scandal, the weapons deal scandal? Where's David Sirota's Pulitzer for the weapons deal, breaking the weapons deal scandal, and Andrew Perez? Where's their Pulitzer? They hate Trump, by the way. Don't worry, Nobel Committee. You can give them the Pulitzer Prize. Or sorry, Pulitzer Committee. They hate Trump. All these prizes are given to people who just hate Trump. If you actually report on Clinton, or you report on anything that is deemed, I don't know, somewhat controversial, you'll never get the Pulitzer. At least not nowadays. There are no major international scandals. Let's hear this.
The last donation from Trump out of his own pocket was, does anybody else put money into it when Trump himself has not given any money since 2008? The last donation from Trump out of his own pocket was in 2008. Since then, other people have filled up this foundation that basically serves as kind of the private charity of Trump. So why would anybody take their philanthropic dollars and use it basically to prop up the private charity of a multi-billionaire?
Oh, really? Oh, it's a charity that's not really a charity. What about the Clinton Foundation? What about the access that even Jeff Sessions was talking about? What about 85 donors giving $156 million and then meeting Clinton? What about 20 of these donors giving more than $1 million and then meeting Clinton? What about the UBS scandal that was broken by the Wall Street Journal and the Atlantic? What about the weapons deal scandal that the International Business Times broke? What about Haiti? What about cash flow to the Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal? That's the New York Times. What about William D. Campbell, an FBI informant who said that the Russian lobbyists were bragging? I mean, it's like unbelievable. Like, oh, the suspicion is only one way. The suspicion goes only one way.
Solve at least part of the question, and that the answer is that these are some of the donors. More than half of the money coming in since 2008 is from people who owed money to Trump or to his business, and then they were told to send it to the Trump Foundation instead of Trump or his business. So,
where are the emails regarding this? Where is the evidence regarding this? Because with Clinton, she had a private server and she deleted 30,000 emails, yet she has quid pro quo arrangements. And whereas the Washington Post is saying, oh, well, the money is flowing into the Trump Foundation from people who owed him money. Yeah, and all the political favors owed to the Clintons are paid through a money laundering scheme called the Clinton Foundation, and her decisions had been impacted. The Boeing deal is just one example, and so was UBS while she was Secretary of State. And then if Vox did a fact check on anything, I would say they would acknowledge everything I say is fact, but then they would say, well, it was all coincidence.
This is income that was due to Trump personally, and he made sure it went to the foundation instead. Now, that's legal, but under IRS rules, you have to pay taxes on it. If you earn the money and if you control where the money goes, even if it doesn't go to you, you have to pay income taxes on it. And so the question is, did Trump pay income taxes on those donations that other people gave his foundation in his direction? Of the $2.3 million we're talking about, we know that $400,000 worth of it, that was a donation.
So the Washington Post is talking about $2.3 million. Meanwhile, there's $10 billion, 10 billion with a B. She does yoga. That's awesome. The Yahtzee, my contribution to HA. The Yahtzee, you are absolutely awesome. And the Yahtzee, thank you. Thank you. I greatly, greatly appreciate all your support. It's just, it is amazing, and I appreciate it. Thank you, the Yahtzee. H.A. Goodman Foundation. The Yahtzee. Thank you so very much. Thank you. So, I mean, you have this double standard, like the money, like with Clinton's scandals, we're talking about billions in money. You're talking about criminal behavior. You're talking about a series, a long list of quid pro quo transactions that could not have been coincidence. Meanwhile, they're going after Trump, and it's just unbelievable. Like, 10 billion, and they're worried about 200 million. And the worst that happens is he pays more taxes. So, okay. With Clinton, she actually transferred top secret intelligence and classified intelligence from SIPRNet. SIPRNet classified, top secret and special access program from JWICS and other locations that I don't know of. It's not just SIPRNet and JWICS and SCIFs. There are other channels within the United States government. So it's, the question is, how on earth did she do all of this? But nobody asks. I mean, I'm not vying for the Pulitzer here. Whatever. I'll never get one. But here, I was a Hill contributor. If Nixon had email, he'd be just like Hillary Clinton. That's one of my articles in the Hill. And it's relevant. Here is the article. It's very relevant. Okay, here it is. When I was a Hill contributor. Okay. And I'm not going to go ahead and I'm not saying I deserve a Pulitzer, but I think shedding light on this scandal is a lot more important to national security. Oh, nice. Stormy Daniels is willing to testify before Congress. Please, God, make this happen. Please. Make it happen. The Democratic Party will implode. Do it. I'm praying to God, if you exist. Please make this happen. Lord, I ask that you please go ahead and have Trump remove security clearances from everyone who does not deserve these clearances, and also have Stormy testify. Please, Lord. Let me read this to you. This is hilarious. This is The Hill. Stormy Daniels says she's willing to testify before Congress. Stormy Daniels on Sunday said she will happily testify before Congress about the $130,000 payment she received from President Trump. Please do. Do it. Okay? Absolutely do it. Please. I want that to happen. They don't realize that, like, people will be like, what? Why is Stormy in Congress? Oh, Democrats. They won't even link it to Trump. They'll be like, the Democrats wanted Stormy in Congress. And in this, not to toot my own horn, I actually quote Charles McAuliffe. This is 2 years before, no, 3 years. This is in August of 2015. August of 2018, around August, we got the Gomerization. Louis Gohmert talked about Charles McAuliffe. Let me just send this again, because Louis Gohmert talked about Charles McAuliffe, stating that all of her emails were hacked. And I quoted Charles McAuliffe. And anyway, it's just no. Hillary will definitely get charged with a crime eventually. That's without a doubt. But so if Nixon had email, he'd have been just like Hillary Clinton. This is 2015. But there's so many others that I've written about the Clinton email investigation. In Salon and The Hill and the Huffington Post. But whatever. You know, it is what it is. At least, what was it that they went ahead and Pulitzer was given to the Washington Post to shed light on the fact that Trump wasn't as charitable as he claimed to be. That's not. What on earth does that have to do with national security? The Clintons aren't as charitable as they claim to be either. What does that even matter? Whatever. Anyway, so they're after him now, and then even Eric Swalwell's like, oh, we don't have enough evidence. Roy Q, you know, Silence Dugan, you told me how to pronounce it, but Roy Q. Stormy goes to Washington. Stormy 2020. They finally found their candidate. I'm not going to pick her running mate now, but there are a couple names that come to mind. How about Stormy and McDougal 2020? Just have it would be like, you know, be history and two women, vice president and president. Amazing. That would be awesome. Actually, they'd probably do better than the establishment Democrat, who will get steamrolled. I can't wait for Joe Biden. To go ahead and run. All you need is your shotgun in your house. Yeah, but I got 5.56 and 7.62, and much better than a shotgun. All you need is a shotgun. From Scranton, Joe Biden, salt of the earth. It should be Biden-Comey 2020. That would be a great duo. And yeah, I mean, Stormy wants to testify. They don't realize they're like, we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw so much mud at Trump. And they not only do they have more mud and more excrement and more filth with the Clintons, and especially Madam Cyberhack, but as they get their hands into the manure, as they get their hands into the Bandini, they don't realize that they're completely covered. Meanwhile, Trump's in the White House. They're just trying to throw manure and mud and excrement and all this. Look, you did this, you did that. Look. No, it's all coming back to you. You look horrible. Take a shower. You're covered in manure. Take a shower. Stormy Amorosa 2020. to catch a better than Biden tapes. This is great. I have the best live chat. Oh my God, that's so awesome. Oh my goodness, that's so great. I do, Veronica. I do. It is. Everybody here is so cool. Every single person here is just so awesome. They're now gonna. That's right. They're gonna ban straws. They're just covered in manure. Everything is like. Oh yeah, Avenatti. That's right. Avenatti is gonna run. Can you imagine the primary? It'll be Avenatti versus Stormy, and they'll be like, "He was a really bad lawyer." Well, let me tell you what else she did that it wasn't true, and I gotta tell you, that'll be amazing. Struck the silence, do good. Struck the wow. Yes, it's getting better. April, thank you so much. I just want to Peter Strzok, Wiener. Strzok, Wiener 2020. Wiener, Holder, Wiener 2020. Yes. What can I tell you? The Democrats are even aptly named. They're even named for, all of these things. So Eric Holder, Wiener, Strzok, Wiener, Holder. What, it is what it is. So, what else is new? What else is going on? Oh my God, I'm not even going to bring it up because of YouTube policies, but it's probably one of the biggest burns I've ever seen on Twitter from one of my friends. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. I'm not even going to bring it up. Jeez. It's like the left doesn't get it. They don't get it at all. They don't realize that they're losing. It's one of the biggest burns you ever seen in your life, but I have to play the long game. Oh my God. And it's still, I can still actually enjoy myself and still be true to the live stream when I read articles. I read this one article. Let me pull it up from a liberal site. Here, let me read it. Oh my God. This is horrible. This is the freak show. Freak show, baby, baby, on the dance floor. So this is the left. Oh my God. I can't tell you what it is. I can't tell you what it is, but it's an article. I'll read it. You just go ahead and look at my facial expressions. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Oh Lord. What? What does this even mean? Oh my God, this is crazy. Lord Almighty. All right. Oh my God Almighty. No, that's. I'm not. Do you see a toilet here? Although I do need to. That would be pretty awesome, though. It would be like that skit from like the Love Toilet. Remember that skit? Now you can spend precious moments with your loved one on the toilet. Frank. Yes, Frank. Oh my Lord. Year of the what? This is crazy. Oh, jeez. I can't. I got to play the long game. I can't tell you what I'm reading, but just read pretty much every other day. You'll find an article on the left where you're like, what what, yeah, oh, what the, yeah. And that's like, that's like normal. Like, hey, be proud. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. What's wrong with that? Are you a alt-right? By the way, to my Trump voters, thank you so much for just defending this Jewish guy always. And you are amazing, all of you. Anyway, enough of me reading something I can't talk about. Oh my God. All right. Thank you, Frankenstein. Thank you. So they're gonna wonder, like, why do people hate us in the midterms? Like, it's the Bernie Bros' fault. It's the Jill Stein's fault. It's the Russians' fault. It's the sexism fault. It's the racist fault. It's everyone's fault. And all you have to do is just read what is considered normal. It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh my God. Wait. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what am I even doing? What's going on here? All right, let me check my tweets. Tweet. Yeah, this is pretty awesome. I have to check that out. Absolutely, Tommy. The Democratic Party is slowly dissolving right in front of our eyes, and it's beautiful. They won't realize it. I just want to wait for the when they lose, what happens? Who do they blame? That will be awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. God bless. I will be back in a couple of hours or so. Wiener Holder Wiener 2020. Eric Holder, Anthony Weiner. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll see you very soon. You've been absolutely wonderful. To my super chat, thank you so very, very much. You're wonderful. Thank you.